Right, Team Harcourts, good morning again, everyone. For those of you that have just joined in the last 30 seconds, I say to you, welcome to this morning's session on the Harcourts Promise. I'm delighted that you have taken the time out this morning just to zone in again on such an important element in our Harcourts business, which is the Harcourts Promise. Now, I've looked through your names very quickly, but I got to be honest with you that I don't know all the people on the session, all team members on the session. So I can just assume that some of you are very new to Harcourts, like in brand new to Harcourts. You might have started the past month or three, and some of you are experienced Harcourts colleagues that have journeyed with Harcourts for a number of years, and you know the Harcourts promise. You know what it's about, but you might be in a position where you are not making it as a part of your business as you could or as you should. And that's why you've decided to join this morning. So hopefully, wherever you sit in terms of your experience and your understanding of the Harcourts promise, my sincere hope is that you'll be able to take something really of value this morning. And it might even give you a new perspective on the Harcourts promise. Or it might just dit kan dalk die lig laat aankom vir jou. The Afrikaans boytjies English runs out on a Friday morning. So you'll excuse me if I struggle to find the right English words and if I hop over to Afrikaans. No, but we should be good. We should be good. But maybe you have a light bulb moment around the Harcourts promise that you've never had before. So let's run through the elements. I'm going to keep it quite elementary, if you don't mind, because there's nothing really more to say about the Harcourts promise than really just the elementary things. But I want to really focus this morning in a big way on really just for you to buy into the vision and the Harcourts brand promise and to understand why it is that we use the Harcourts promise and why it's important that you in your business and your team as part of the greater Harcourts team in South Africa and our South African team as part of the greater Harcourts network around the world understand why the use of the Harcourts promise is so important for everyone's business and why all of us benefit from using the Harcourts promise. So what I want to start off by saying is that we know as a Harcourts agent, for you to be out in the market, your vision and your commitment is to deliver an unparalleled client experience. You will know that the Harcourts vision speaks about the finest experience in real estate. Now, guys, I don't need to tell you that it's almost like a war out there in the marketplace, right? In your market where you are working, whether you are in a small town or a large metro area, the competition is fierce. The competition is fierce. And there is only one way for us to be able to run a successful business for you as an individual entrepreneur and for Harcourts as a brand and as a company to stand out from the opposition and to advance as a brand is if we elevate ourselves above the opposition and the competition and to show that we provide our clients and we have a total commitment to delivering an unparalleled client experience. And it is so important that each and every one of our team members really take this to heart because you actually have a big responsibility when you represent the Harcourts brand. You know, the Harcourts brand has a brand promise. If you think of any brand that you have respect for, whether it is whatever the brand is, there is also always a level of expectation associated to a brand, right? Whether it is the quality of the service, whether it's the speed of the service, the reliability, whatever the case might be, is the public, you and the public have associations with a brand. And we need the public to know what the Harcourts brand stands for. We have a brand promise, and the brand promise means that someone has an expectation of what Harcourts can deliver them when they consider a real estate agency to represent them in the market, whether they are looking to sell or to let their property or to buy or to rent. They might have heard it from another person that have dealt with Harcourts in the past. They might have seen it on social media where we advertise. They might have seen it wherever you put your value offering out into the market, into the big wide sphere, is we are promising something, guys, and the promise has got to be on point. It's got to be really what we got to deliver what we promise. So I just want to play you this quick video. I hope that the audio comes through, and this is on YouTube for all of you to use if you want to share this with your clients. Awesome. So we make dreams come true by delivering an unparalleled level of service. That is our brand promise. And let's look at the elements that we can use to elevate that or actually to deliver on that brand promise. First of all, to communicate it to our prospective clients, to our existing clients, but then also really to deliver on it. Before we go there, I just want to take a moment to remind you guys of what the code of conduct of the PPRA says, EAB PPRA. You will know that it speaks about the agent's responsibility when an agent takes a sole mandate, that the agent has to furnish the client in writing what the agent is going to do in terms of marketing. It says the client needs to explain in writing to the client what specific obligations in respect of the marketing of the property will be assumed by the estate agent in his endeavor to perform the mandate. So that is what our code of conduct says. But you will know as you are out there in the marketplace, if you think of your own business, the way that you conduct your business, or if you look at other agents in your marketplace or even in your office, how often do we not do this? Yes, I know in many of your offices, most of our offices, is either included in your sole mandate document where it explains what we will do for our seller in terms of the marketing and advertising of the property and what they can expect. But so often and I don't say this, I say this with the greatest deal of respect, and I don't say this in a negative light. But if we are realistic with each other, or honest rather with each other, we can also say that sometimes we take the route of least resistance or the easiest route, the quickest route, and we sometimes drop the ball on informing our seller or our landlord what we will do for them when we take their property to market, to advertise their property, to expose their property to the widest possible buyers or tenants pool, all those things that we need to put in writing, but we don't put it in writing for our client, and we are then not living up to the code of conduct. So just think about that. And so what I'm getting at is that what the Harcourts promise says is things that we should actually be doing in our business anyway. These are not like rocket science or silver bullets or anything out of the ordinary. It is just what we are supposed to do, putting it in writing to our client and say, this we promise, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, or Mr. and Mrs. Landlord, that we will be doing these things. So guys, on the sales side, there are 5 points that we mention to our sellers when we present the Harcourts promise to them. If you are very new to the promise or to Harcourts, you would not have seen this, or you might not have seen this. This might be new to you, and many of you know this already. So we speak about a marketing plan. We speak about post-inspection feedback. Post-inspection is after we had a buyer to a property. The inspection is really a word for a viewing. So it's after the viewing feedback when we had a buyer to the property. The Harcourts promise also speaks about seller reports, and we will drill into detail on each of these elements. The promise speaks about review meetings that we will have with our sellers, and speaks about all offers in writing. So those are the 5 points that we include in our Harcourts promise. It is very important. Let me show you what the certificate looks like if you haven't seen it. And for those of you that are totally experienced, guys, just bear with us for a moment. I'm not even going to open this document, but it's on the hub. I'm on the Harcourts hub now, and this is where the Harcourts promise is. You will notice here that it includes those 5 points that I've just noticed. And the beautiful thing is that when you sign up a sole mandate with your seller or with your landlord, you will complete this Harcourts promise by putting in your name, putting in the name of the seller or the landlord, their address, the date that this Harcourts promise was signed, your office name, and you will put in your name here. And this is a signed Harcourts promise. It is our promise to our client that we are committing to deliver an exceptional level of service, as you can see on the screen there. We are promising to deliver an exceptional level of service. And in your own time, just read this through again and familiarize yourself with each of these points so that that you really have it in your heart. It's not only here in your head, but it's something that you are carrying in your heart, and you feel so passionate about these elements because we know that we need to be doing these things, and you are promising to your client that you will do it. On the rental side, we also have a Harcourts promise that you will also find on the Harcourts hub, and I'm not going to take any more time, but it speaks about these 5 points, and exactly the same as a rental agent, you will sign that and you will give a copy of that signed Harcourts promise to your landlord. But it speaks about proactive communication. We promise that we will be proactive in our communication. We speak about our professional management and that we are a team of knowledgeable and experienced property managers, really, really committed to delivering expert property management. We speak about the maximum return on the investment that we are promising for our investor, and that is our primary objective. We also promise that we will furnish them with a marketing strategy because it's exactly the same on the sales side. When we advertise the property, we need to expose that rental property to the widest possible tenant pool so that we can attract the maximum interest and get the highest maximum return on investment for our client. And then we definitely need to, and we promise to minimize the risk for our client with our strict policies and procedures. We minimize property risk by thoroughly assessing the financial capability and rental history of interested tenants. But again, please spend time on your Harcourts promise on your as a sales and rental agent on that certificate. And what you definitely want to make sure of is that you make the Harcourts promise part of all your presentations that you present to your sellers and to your landlords. That is in your pre-list presentation. That is in your listing presentation. You definitely need to include, please make sure that you include that one page, that A4 certificate, Harcourts promise in your presentations to your clients. Again, where do we find this on the hub? There's a whole section on the Harcourts promise on the hub. I'm just going to show you there again where you find it. If we go into the Harcourts hub, it's here under resources. You go into resources, then you go into to agent tools and to the Harcourts promise. Very, very easy to find that. And here you find the documents that we have made available for you, all generic documents, but for you to use and to personalize and to make it your own so that you have it saved on your hard drive, whether it is your 8-week marketing plan or whether it is a calendar, you have it saved on your hard drive and it is ready to go. It's ready to be included in your listing presentation if you need to present to your client, like within an hour. You want to get to a point that if I ask you, or if a seller says to you, I want to see you in 2 hours, you should have all your documents on the Harcourts promise, like your marketing plan and or your calendar, ready so that you can basically pull the trigger and you can make it part of your listing presentation immediately. On here, you have an 8-week marketing plan in PowerPoint format. I can just show you that very quickly. This is what a generic 8-week marketing plan looks like. Now, I just want to say, so this is the Afrikaans version, but obviously the English one, let's just go over there. this is the written marketing plan. The generic one covers 8 weeks, but it doesn't mean that yours have to be 8 weeks. You can decide to do it a 4-week marketing plan or a 6-week marketing plan. The important thing is that you present a plan to your seller or to your landlord. That's the really important thing, that you put it in writing what you will be doing for them when you take their property to market. You will notice a lot of generic or just basic activities that are included in this mock-up example of a marketing plan. The idea is that if you're using a marketing plan in your presentation and not a calendar, then you want to spend time on this marketing plan to make it your own, to decide what are the activities that you are going to include and show to your seller in week 1, week 2, week 3, etc. But let me just go one step back. I want to before we go into any further detail on that, I just want to page to. Okay, right. Let's see. There's the marketing plan. So the first thing that I want to say, that I want to bring to your attention, is why do we do it? Why do we present the marketing plan? And I think you guys will all agree that transparency is such an important thing, because if we are transparent with our client, that builds trust, right? We are on a process with our clients. We need them to know us, to like us, and to trust us that you are the agent that is going to do the best job for them when you take their property to market, or when you represent your client in the market as a sales or as a rental agent. We've got to build that trust, and a marketing plan shows your seller or your landlord what you're going to be doing for them. It differentiates you from your opposition, because I will put my head on a block that by far the most agents out in the marketplace don't present a marketing plan to their sellers when they sit with the seller or to their landlords. So here you have an amazing opportunity to differentiate yourself from your opposition. You can really stand out if you are one of 5 agents that your client are calling in to do a valuation, or let's rather say a market assessment on their property. And you are the only agent out of the 5 that are presenting a marketing plan or a marketing calendar to that seller. Who's going to have the advantage? You are going to have that advantage. You are the agent that shows them, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm transparent. This is what I'm going to be doing for you when I take your property to market. But it's not only about the marketing and advertising, remember, guys. It's about the feedback that you also give, the feedback that they can expect, the frequency of the feedback that you are giving to them. So it's the whole picture around marketing and advertising that you are presenting to your client. We always have to remember that as real estate professionals, we are also marketing executives. That is such an important thing. And we are pitching for a job. We are pitching like any marketing professional would do. There's no way that a marketing executive can win a job for a client if they don't present their marketing pitch in the most professional way, right? So it's something that we have to do, but somehow our industry has just the standards have dropped so greatly, and our clients have come to a point where they don't expect this, because they almost never get it from estate agents. I'm making very sweeping statements, and I'm making very general statements, but please just know that I'm trying to be realistic. And I think that we need to acknowledge the fact that we can stand out from our opposition greatly by using a marketing plan, and we have to do it as a Harcourts professional and representing this brand. It's just something that you have to do. Um, and you're also in a position to command your sole mandates at a higher commission percentage if you are transparent. And I just want to hide these floating controls quickly. Sorry about the gray block on your screen, guys. It will disappear in a second. If you are the agent of choice and you are transparent and you are building the trust, and you're really getting the buy-in from your seller or your landlord, you're in a much better position to command that sole mandate at a higher commission percentage than just going in with the bare bones. So this is a great opportunity for you to win that mandate at a high commission percentage. Are you guys with me? You happy with that? You agree with that? Are we on the same page? Cool. So how do we do it? We Again, as I've said, we need to tailor our marketing plan and our calendar to make it your own. And it is not a big job, guys. If you have never done it, it really asks about an hour of your time to go through the marketing plan, just to go through those activities that are populated in the marketing plan and decide for yourself, do I do this? Is it something that I need to keep in the marketing plan, or should I remove it and bring in other activities that are not included in week 1 or week 2 or week 3 or week 4 of my marketing plan? So spend a bit of time, spend the necessary time, please, if you have never done it, on tailoring your marketing plan or your calendar. You have it saved on your hard drive. It's Friday morning. If I have an inquiry from my seller, and I'm repeating myself, apologies, but if I need to go and see a seller at 1 o'clock this afternoon, I already have my marketing plan saved on my hard drive. It's a matter of just pulling it up. It's in PowerPoint or it's in Word. I make the necessary changes if I need to make any changes. I put it in my listing presentation that I'm preparing to go and present to my seller at 1 o'clock this afternoon. But we have to put in the preparation work. We just put in the preparation work, and then when preparation meets opportunity, magic happens. You include it in your listing presentation, as I've said, and also in your, pre-list presentation. No, sorry, not in your pre-list presentation. My apologies. You include it in your listing presentation because, again, now we are pitching for a job. It's almost like a job interview. We are sitting in front of a homeowner or a landlord, and we want to win the business. We can only get paid if we win the mandate and if we make the sale. So we got to do our best job, not only to make the sale, but again, because you are representing Harcourts, and because you are representing Harcourts, there is an expectation of our whole Harcourts family looking at you to do your best job to put the brand promise forward, to represent the brand promise. Every time that you meet a client, you are Harcourts for them. You are Harcourts. If you mess it up, or if a Harcourts agent messes things up, people will say, I will never do business with Harcourts again. It's not any other, it is the person that they deal with. So we are the representatives of this brand, and we got to take that so seriously. But we obviously got to have fun with it, right? It's not all only serious. We have fun with it. So I don't want to get too serious on this Friday morning. Um, Now, the marketing plan obviously also forms part of what we call a post-listing pack that you prepare for your seller. Once you've signed the sole mandate, you have a copy of the sole mandate. As Harcourts agents, we always make sure that our sellers or our landlords are furnished with a copy of the mandate, a copy of a seller declaration, a copy then of a marketing plan, a signed copy of the Harcourts promise, and all other documentation that you feel are critical for your seller or your landlord to be in possession of, so that they are informed and that they have all the necessary docs in place in a little file for them, that they know everything that they can expect from you. Okay, let me not labor the point. I just want to show you one last thing where an agent like Joshua Parsons includes a marketing calendar. Joshua uses a marketing calendar. So I'm just going to show you how he does it, where he includes the marketing calendar in his presentation. Now, I have to say that this is a presentation from 2014. So Josh might have changed it in the meantime, but where I'm heading with this is just to show you where he has his marketing calendar in his presentation. So this was in 2024, and these were the dates when he presented to the client on the 19th, which was a Monday, and there he indicated for the next 2 weeks what he will be doing for them. If you need examples of marketing calendars or written marketing plans, guys, let me know, or let your BSM know, and we can definitely get you more examples just to maybe help you think creatively on what you can include in a marketing calendar or a marketing plan. Okay, so let me close that. So I think that's basically what I want to say on the on the point on promise one under the marketing plan and the calendar. Then when we come to promise two, and I just want to interrupt myself for a second. Um, I know, we know that this is a webinar, so unfortunately we can't have interaction. You can't really ask questions easily. I see that there are chats and but it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to keep an eye on the chat box for questions. If you have a question that you want to ask or a comment that you want to make, won't you please just use the almost like a raised hand little emoji? And I can see that there's a raised hand, and you can maybe type your question in the chat box, if that's okay. You're welcome to ask questions. 3 participants raised hands. Okay, guys, let's just see. If there are any questions, I will come back to the chat box in a second. The post-inspection feedback, that is now after I had a buyer to the property. And again, we are promising our seller and our landlord that we will exceed their expectations when it comes to feedback. And as a real estate professional out in the market, you will know much better than I do that one of the biggest complaints that our clients have, sellers and landlords, is that they don't get feedback from their agent. Even sometimes when they give an agent a sole mandate, the agent disappears for weeks and they don't hear from the agent in weeks. That is ridiculous. We can never be like that. That is, we can never drop our sellers or our landlords like that. We have to give feedback. We have to give feedback. And even if there is no feedback, that is also feedback. But this promise speaks specifically about my feedback to my seller and my landlord after I had a viewing, because we want to exceed their expectations. Again, this is something that they expect of us, but we need to exceed their expectations. So we are saying to our seller and our landlord, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we are committing to prompt and thorough feedback after I had a buyer through your property. You went through all the trouble, you as the seller went through all the trouble to prepare your property, to get it ready for this viewing. And the least that I can do is to give you thorough feedback, prompt thorough feedback after I had that buy through. And I'm talking like within the first hour to maybe 6 hours, depending on obviously how busy your day is. But we never want more than 24 hours to pass for you not to give feedback to that seller. Is that fair to say? I think that is, if you were a seller, that is what you would expect from your agent, because you are sitting on the edge of your seat, waiting for feedback. What did the buyer say when they came through the property? So let's do the right thing and give our sellers and our landlords that feedback, prompt and thorough feedback. We can either do it in a phone call or in a WhatsApp, obviously a text or a voice WhatsApp, or we can pop it in an email, but it's got to be prompt and thorough. And we then also have to make sure that we capture the buyers and the tenants' feedback on prop data. I'm going to come back. Right. Let me just here for a moment say, I just want to see what I have here. Okay. I'm going to show you. I just want to make one quick point here when I click on this basically calendar. This is my weekly planning. And I think when we talk about giving feedback, guys, and doing these things, it's important that we have that we have it scheduled in our daily plan. Your planning and where you schedule it in the day will definitely give you the best opportunity to give that proper feedback to your client. This is just an example of an agent that has blocked time in the week from Monday to Saturday. And here the agent have early in the afternoon feedback blocks. Can you see there? There's an hour for feedback and admin. But wherever you decide to put your feedback in your daily planning, that is going to I'm convinced that that is going to give you the best opportunity to stay on track with your feedback to your clients. And this is your post-inspection feedback. And this is also the Harcourts, the promise number 3, which is your seller reports, that this also governs, or in a way structure your the time that you set aside to generate those seller reports and to give that feedback through to your sellers. So your planning, the point I'm trying to make is that your planning is going to determine whether you're going to be successful with this. First of all, you want to do it. It is your purpose of providing an unparalleled level of service, but then also your planning and your structure that you create in the day. Are you guys happy with that? I hope that you're happy with that. Let me just have a quick squiz here in the chat box. Okay, I see Zelda. Zelda posted there an article that you guys can have a look at. We're in the hub. Thank you, Zel, for keeping an eye on that. I appreciate that. Okay, guys, and then there is a leads video. Let me first show you one of the great benefits that we have with prop data is that it is so mobile friendly. And you can, like, literally from your car on your mobile phone, if you sit in your car waiting for a next appointment, or whether you are, sitting at the mall or standing in line somewhere, or even sitting on your couch this evening, you can take your mobile phone out and you can capture a buyer inspection or a viewing on that listing. Let me show you how I did it on my phone. I just want to show you there quickly. This is just going to be a quick run through of how I captured a buyer that came to view the property. So I go onto my phone, I sign into prop data, and it's just going to take about 2 minutes for us to do this. This was like, as you know, live, not live, but I recorded it live, going through the process of going into that listing, finding my listing. Now, this is not, I have to say, this is not my listing. This is one of our top sales agents in the Eastern Cape, Helen Purden's listing. This is a sole mandate that she has. And I was just using this listing to demo to you how you capture a buyer viewing under that listing and how quick and easy it is. So I go to leads. On that listing, I go to leads. There was my new lead. I click on log a viewing. And then I say, is the person interested? Maybe, yes or no. What are the concerns? I put in my date of the viewing, and then I voice record, because that's the easiest thing on my phone, right? I voice record the notes that I want to capture there, and I make a quick note of what the buyer said on the property. Again, remember, we want to be thorough. We want to say what their concerns were, what the next steps might be, because we are in the process of putting our seller in the best position to make an informed decision on their property. So I save it, and there it is. So there I have just captured a buyer viewing in literally 2 minutes. From my phone, I have captured my buyer viewing. So guys, I think we'll agree that there's no excuse that we don't, that we don't do this. Oopsie daisy. Okay, let me just get that out of the way, and I'm going to let me just share this again. Oh, frack. What did I do now? Let me see if I can just get this thing. Here we go again. Sorry about that. Okay. Just want to get this out of the way at the bottom here. So that is basically on the Harcourts promise. I just want to make one last comment about the post-inspection feedback. Again, we never want our seller to be in a position where they are wanting for that feedback, what the buyer said. We have all the tools, we have all the resources. It is just for us to be serious and to be disciplined about our business to do these things. I think it's all about your desire and your discipline. There are really, really no excuses. One last thing that I want to show you here is the leads video on the hub. There is a great video of about 12 minutes that take you through the whole process of capturing leads under a listing. I just showed it to you very quickly in 2 minutes how I do it from my mobile phone, but here is a detailed explanation of how you capture leads. Have a look at it. It's called Prop Data Listing Leads. Prop Data Listing Leads, and you can just search for that in that little search button, but it is in the knowledge base or under the knowledge base, under prop data, using the system, your listings, and prop data listing leads. That is that 12-minute, 45-second video. Happy? So that is that. Let's come back into, let's move over to our third promise. It is the seller's report. The seller's report, promise number 3. What is the seller's report? If you are new to Harcourts, you might not know what the seller report is, but this is a beautiful thing. This is, again, a massive differentiator. It's a detailed feedback report. A detailed feedback report because, again, it's what our client deserves. We are looking to earn tens and thousands of rand on the sale of this property. The selling of a property, as we know, is not only about putting nice photos on Property 24 and the Harcourts website and waiting for a buyer to contact us and we write an offer to purchase. It really is, if we want to earn that big bucks, we put in the effort. We put in the effort. We show our seller that we will provide them regularly with written feedback. And our whole system, that is the beautiful thing about Harcourts, is that our whole system is designed to give our clients the best feedback in the market. We went through so much trouble with prop data to design, or rather to develop the functionality on prop data for us to be able to create these seller reports in prop data. We have a tool that no other agencies have, guys. Let's use it to the best of our ability to stand out again from our opposition, to blow our clients out of the water, to really exceed their expectations, and to put them in the best position again to make informed decisions so that they can sell or let their property. So it's a detailed feedback report, and it's generated on prop data, as we know. Now, why do we do this? And I've already touched on this. It's about total transparency with our seller. We are giving them all the information that we can. We're not hiding anything. We are really putting them in the driver's seat so that they can make informed decisions. As real estate professionals, our duty is to be that representation or that representative in the marketplace of our client, to bring them all the feedback from the market. First of all, to expose the property, obviously, to the widest possible buyer or tenant pool of interested people that might be interested in purchasing or renting this property, and then to give them feedback, bring them offers, negotiate. That is what we get paid for. So that we can really do an outstanding job for our clients. The seller report also helps you to defend your commission and support your offers when you sit with your client. And what I mean by that, just stay with me for a moment and follow me if you are very new to the seller report. The seller report is that detailed report that we build that shows all the viewings, all the views, the number of views, portal views, etc., that the property has attracted, the interest that the property has generated from buyers and tenants. In other words, views, inquiries, viewings, the comments that they've had, etc., including marketing activity. And if I can present that to my seller and my landlord, that will defend my commission because I can show to my client that I've done everything possible to do the best job for them and to represent the property in the market, or to represent them in the market. And when I come with an offer and they want to cut me down on my offer, or say to me that, maybe I can throw in some of my commission, just if the two parties, the seller and the buyer, are not meeting, and there's maybe 50,000 rand in between, the seller says to you, but you as the agent, you've got to come to the party. And why don't you cut your commission? And then if I can show them the detailed report, I have a much stronger position where I can say, I've done everything that I can for you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. So I don't think it is reasonable of me to expect that I have to forfeit some of my commission because I have done my part of of the agreement. And again, it differentiates us. It really, really differentiates us from other companies in the market. It will create word of mouth for you. Your seller and your landlord are going to be telling other people of the great service that they've received from you, the great reports that they've received from you every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, and that will bring you more leads into your business. And that is what our business is about, right? It's about standing out, providing such a phenomenal service to our client, creating word of mouth, creating more leads, and that in that way, I am building a brilliant business. So that is the Harcourts promise, the seller's report. Just how do we do this? We start by building the report from the time that the listing goes live until the property is sold. And from the listing goes live, we start to capture marketing activity. If I look at the best agents or the agents that use the seller report the best in our company, they start from the day that the property goes live. Is they capture marketing activity and they keep it up, And 10 days in, 2 weeks into the marketing, or even a week into the marketing of the property, they send the first report to the seller to show the number of views that they've had, the buyers that have come through the property, etc., etc. We generate it on property prop data every 2 to 3 weeks. But if I say every 2 to 3 weeks, that is just a very broad guideline. I probably shouldn't put that in every 2 to 3 weeks, but I'm just trying to maybe give you a guideline somehow of what the frequency could be. But if your property is in a high churn area and there's a lot of activity in the first week, and in the second week, and in the third week, you will send your report to your seller every week, maybe on a Friday or on a Monday or whichever day of the week. If there's not a lot of activity going on in your property, maybe it's a plot that's been on the market for a long time and there's not a lot going on, you might do it every 3 or every 4 weeks. So depending on the activity on your property, guys, I think that will influence the frequency of you sending your seller report to your sellers and your landlords. Again, you can email or WhatsApp or hand deliver the report to your seller. If you hand deliver it to your seller, that's obviously a great way of just connecting again with that seller. If you haven't seen them maybe in a week or 2 weeks, it's that face-to-face. It is a quick chat. It is that opportunity to maybe ask a few questions or share some ideas. So that is really a great thing, is to hand deliver the report to your seller. But because Prop Data allows us to send the report in digital format or electronic format, that is also a very convenient way of communicating it with our seller or our landlord. But again, what I want to say is we shouldn't get lazy. And I say this with all the respect in the world, of just sending out digital links, maybe in WhatsApp or an email, because it's too much trouble to go to the seller and take them a printed report, a printed seller report. But yes, like it, I think that in a little file, your printed report, maybe with a little chocolate. If I go out there on a Friday, I haven't seen them maybe for the past 2 weeks. I haven't had any buyers through. There hasn't been much activity, but I go and visit them, and I take them that report. That is the wow experience. But I will leave that with you. Sorry, there's one other thing before we come to Promise 4. I just want to very quickly run you through a demo of 3 minutes of how I generate the seller report on my mobile phone. Prop Data, I sign in. I'm going to go to that same listing. I'm going to go to the same listing, and I'm just going to show you how I pull the buyer viewing into the seller report. So I look up the property. Right, so I go to 10 Ravenswood, and there at the top, you will see that I have the edit seller report and view seller report. If I click on view, that will show me the seller report. Lovely, but I want to edit the seller report. So I go into edit seller report. I go to the section that I want to edit, and I scroll down. I scroll down to viewing feedback. I click on viewing feedback. And now I can tick in those little tick boxes, which of the latest viewings do I want to pull into my seller report? So I tick those that I have not included in previous reports, and I can then generate my report. But I want to move also to marketing. I want to show you how you enter your marketing activity. Again, this agent is outstanding in populating her seller reports with marketing activity. She understands what it means for her in her business and what it means for her clients. Guys, this agency has over 40% market share in Port Alfred. And the reason why they have that high market share is because as a whole team, they do this. So she populates the marketing activity in such a way. You scroll all the way to the bottom where there's a new add button. And this is where you will add your new marketing activity. So whatever it is, whether you posted a new social media post, or whether you put up a for sale sign, or whether you took the professional photographer out, etc., whatever that marketing activity is, put it in, and there you have then your completed seller report that you can send out to your seller or to your landlord. I will go and I will copy the report link. I can WhatsApp it, I can email the report, but I'm just copying the link. And I'm coming to my, sorry, I made a mistake there. I go to my WhatsApp and I go to my client, and I'm going to share that link to that report with them. And the great thing is that they can at any time click on that link, and any updates that I make to that report, it will be automatically updated. But the great thing is that every time, let's say my promise to my client is that I will send them a report every Friday at noon. My seller is expecting this report from me around noon on a Friday. So I'm delivering on my promise. I'm delivering the promise that I made that I will send them around noon on a Friday a report. And here's my WhatsApp coming through to them if I can't deliver the promise, a printed version of the Harcourts promise to them. So again, I just wanted to demonstrate to you how quick and easy it is to do that from your mobile phone. Here I have a folder on my desktop, not on my desktop, but on my home screen, where I have Harcourts icons, and I have the hub, prop data, and a few other little icons there in that folder on my home screen on my phone. That is the promise 3, the seller's report. Let's move over to promise 4, the seller review meetings. Also critically important and also differentiator. We said earlier that the biggest need that your seller has and your landlord has, or the biggest desire that they have, and where our industry often drops our clients, is feedback, 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 feedback. And also when we go and meet our clients, physically meet them, or maybe on a Zoom meeting or on Teams meeting, if they don't live in your town. This is a differentiator. Why do we do this? We have the responsibility to keep our clients informed. They want to keep kept informed, as we said. They need feedback. They want feedback. So that is our opportunity to meet with them, to give them feedback. We have an opportunity now to review the advertising that we've done. We have the opportunity to discuss the market response. What is the market dynamic? What are we seeing in the market? We're really putting them in the picture again. But it's a meeting where we discuss this. And then price. We have an opportunity to review price. Are we still in the right? Are we still good with the existing pricing of the property, the asking price? Or is it time to look at a price adjustment? Do we need to make a price adjustment? And those are the things that we discuss in a seller review meeting. We also need to discuss our sellers' responsibilities because we always have to remember, as real estate professionals, we we rely on our seller to do certain things, or our landlord to do certain things, to make the property as sellable or as rentable as possible. Obviously, access to the property is very important. Maybe they said that they will clean that green pool, but the pool is still green. It's not sparkling blue. Or the main bathroom, the ceiling is still moldy. They haven't painted that ceiling and it still looks ugly. So we also have to be honest with our sellers. And in these meetings, we can discuss these things, that we need them to pay attention to those things that they promise that they will do, and that are their responsibilities. You guys hear what I'm trying to say. How do we do it? What do we take with them? Take with us when we go and meet our clients? This could be every 3 or 4 weeks. So definitely 3 weeks into the marketing of my property. If it hasn't sold yet, I have to have a meeting with my client, again, either in person or online, but it has to be a conversation, and we discuss it. We discuss what's going on. I will take my latest salary report that indicates everything that we have been doing for them, what the market's response has been, etc. I will take a recent CMA evaluation report of prop data with me that also includes the current competition that have come onto the market since we listed the property a month ago. I will take my 8-week marketing plan with me, indicating what I have done for them and what I'm planning on doing going forward into this next month or in the next few weeks. And if need be, I can also take my listing presentation with me that I presented to them when I listed the property, that includes that graph that shows the dangers of overpricing. If you as the agent knows that price is a problem on this property, we need to speak to our seller about pricing and making a price adjustment. We always have to remember that we are doing this in the interest of our seller. We're having these tough conversations with our seller. We never want to be in a position, or let me rephrase. We shouldn't think, and I'm more speaking towards you guys that are maybe new to the industry, is we should never think that we only want to tell the seller what they want to hear. We got to give them the honest truth of what the market has been saying. Because again, we need to put them in the best position to make informed decisions. We've got to give them the good, the bad, and the ugly, but in a professional, respectful way. So when we speak about the dangers of overpricing, that is an important element where we look at the price adjustment so that we can get that property sold as soon as possible. We don't want the property to sit on the market for too long, because that will just create in the property, or it will lead to the property selling for even lower or below market value. So we need to have those tough conversations. If you are new to the business, please make sure that you take a mentor agent or your principal with you when you have these seller review meetings, so that you can hear what they say. Take an experienced agent with you a few times when you have these seller review meetings, so that you can learn from the type of dialogue that agent has with the seller or with the landlord. And you can also take a copy of the mandate with you, so that we can just look again at the mandate stipulations. How long does the mandate still run? Is the mandate still running for, etc., etc. So those are the seller review meetings, guys. And then the last promise on the sales side is all offers in writing. Now, why do we say to our seller, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, when I take your property to market, when you furnish me with a sole and exclusive mandate to market your property, I promise you that I will bring you all offers in writing. We do it because we want to show genuine buyer interest to our seller. I'm not just coming to my seller with a verbal offer by saying to the seller, oh, I had a buyer through your properties on the market for 2.35 million, but they are willing to offer 1.8. Would you consider it? I'm going through the trouble of actually putting that offer, that 1.8 million rand offer, in writing with my buyer. I present it to my seller, because that gives me an opportunity now to get the ball rolling on negotiations. That buyer might actually be very, very interested in that property. They're taking a chance maybe on the 1.8 million, But I'm showing that buyer that we are serious to take this offer to the seller, and it also includes all the conditions that can be considered by the seller. And that is really where we start to get the ball rolling on negotiations. It is sometimes very easy for agents or for buyers just to make a verbal offer, and the agent goes to the seller and almost present a verbal offer to the seller. But that is not the way that we work. We are professionals where we put it in writing for our seller. So friends, that is from my side this morning, a quick review again of the Harcourts promise, the 5 elements on the sell side, the 5 elements on the rental side. I just want to bring up, sorry about that. Just want to stop the share here. But I want to really encourage you to make the necessary time to do the preparation work that you need to do on your written marketing plan, your calendar, all those different elements. Get to study that Harcourts promise and really make it part of your value offering and your value presentation to your sellers and to your landlords. And you won't believe the difference that is going to make in your business. Make it part of your pre-list presentation. Be sure to make it part of your listing presentation. Knock the socks off your client. Show them that you are the best in the market, you are the most focused, you are the most committed, and you will win the mandates. You will win the mandates at a great commission percentage. You'll uphold the Harcourts brand promise, and your business and your bank account will definitely see the results. So thank you so much again for your time this Friday morning. I hope that you have found some value in our conversation. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me or your business support manager in your region. Speak to your principal, your sales manager. We are all there to assist you. But remember, we have these incredible tools in Harcourts. We have the best tools in the industry, and our business is about creating the finest experience in real estate, providing an unparalleled service to our clients. Look after yourself. I wish you all the best. Have a lekker Friday further. Have a great weekend. Stay healthy, stay happy, guys. We'll see you soon. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.